yeah, recommending anime can absolutely be a minefield. Minefield, not minefield, but yeah, because I know there are definitely things that like people are gonna be like, it's not really for me, and that's cool. Recommend Berserk, refuse to elaborate. Especially when you're used to the weird shit and tune it. Exactly. Exactly. I have been watching anime since again the 90s. So I have seen some stuff, y'all. Some stuff. Like, okay, story time. Quick story time here. So, when I first got started watching anime, I would go to the video store, like, Blockbuster, but it was like a local chain. And they had a very small anime section. And at that time, I was picking up titles like Ranma and Oh My Goddess, which were reflecting back at that age, I probably shouldn't have been necessarily watching them, but I wouldn't say now that like they were bad for me. Um but because this was during a time when anime was still very much considered just like cartoons, they had other things mixed in there. And I was sick, and I told my dad to pick me up some stuff from there, and he just grabbed stuff off the shelf. And that was how, at a very early time in my anime watching journey, I learned about La Blue Girl. And if you don't know what that is, I am just gonna say one word and then we're gonna move on. But tentacles. Tentacles, my friend. I immediately stopped. I watched like maybe a good 30 minutes of it before I was like, I don't think I should be watching this. Stopped the tape, rewound it, took it back to my dad, and with the calmest of faces, just said, I think we should return this one. And I refused to elaborate. I refused to elaborate until years later when I could look at him as a vague adult and be like, okay, so that time you got me videos when I was sick, you ended up getting me what was equivalently hentai. And I know you didn't know that. Tentacles are cool. Like from an adult perspective, I don't have an issue with them. Maybe that's the reason why I don't have an issue with them. But also like I, I was a minor at the time. Aurora After Dark or something, kind a little bit, yeah. Um, but yeah, so I'm used to some pretty weird stuff when it comes to anime. I've seen some weird things, and like it also doesn't help that like I was subjected to things like AMVs. If you have never watched AMV Hell, first maybe don't. Second, or do, I'm not the boss of you. But it's hilarious, but also, Jesus, oh boy. AMV Hell was a time in my life. You said the title and I literally spit out my drink. You're welcome. So yeah, that's why I just wanted to be careful with my recommendations. and cover those things.